Well, I think every time a movie comes out that I direct, that becomes the pinnacle. That becomes it because I put so much into everything, even if it's a small movie that may be considered an art film or something that sort of reaches for the bleachers and to try to get all audiences to come to see it. Whatever it is, that to me is the pinnacle.
And what can we expect from Ready Player One?
It's the pinnacle. It's the new pinnacle, and it's a pretty high peak. We really put a lot on the screen. The movie is almost bigger than the screens that are gonna hold it or try to hold it. Yeah, I'm really proud of it. It's for an audience. It's for whether you're from 8 to 80 or from I'd say 7 to 95. I think people are going to enjoy the film.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Look forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, a group. This is a group here. Okay, good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
What I'm curious is that you are classed as being the creator of the summer blockbuster as we know it today. So from Jaws to now, how has the summer blockbuster changed to you?
Well, for one thing, the blockbuster is not because of us, it's because of the audience. It's the audience that makes the film a blockbuster. So the audience has to get 100% of the credit for finding something that they want to see over and over again and telling all of their friends and going in great large groups to the movies. I just love it when movies attract a large audience because we've since the early 50s we've always been competitive with television, and even today when there's so much good work done on television, from The Crown, there's so many great series, Handmaid's Tale, and so much great stuff. So the movies have to work harder to find their audience and to draw them away from the safety of the home and get them into the community of the public. And so for me, when that happens, there's nothing greater to celebrate.
So obviously you've been a legend for a while, but how does it feel to be a legend? And then leading on from that, what do you think are the biggest challenges facing filmmakers at the moment?
Being a legend is something that I'm called. It's a label. It's not how I see myself. Believe it or not, I feel more normal than a legend is supposed to feel, or you would assume should feel. So that doesn't compute for me. But I'm just honored that I've been recognized by Empire, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, magazine that celebrates movies and basically celebrates the audiences who go to see the movies. So it's fan, it's behind the scenes, it's everything.
And what challenges do you think are facing filmmakers right now?
I think the big thing that's facing filmmakers right now is how do we keep cinema alive? How do we keep people going to the movies and not staying at home? Because television is brilliant. The stories, the writing, the directing, the performances, television is having a watershed moment over the last decade. And that's more for us to compete with if we really want to get an audience to go see our movies in the dark of a room.
So just finally, what's the most unlegend thing then that you think you do?
The most unlegend thing I do? Probably looking the way I look when I wake up in the morning.
Amazing, Stephen, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.